If you saw the last video, you'd have seen we've been messing around with a Honda GX 630 engine, and I said it was for a flail mower. We've got it in the workshop. I've been and picked it up. Now, I bought this about probably 3-4 years ago. It's been sat in my dad's garden for that long, so I'll get round to doing it when I get 5 minutes. And now I've got a job coming up that I need it, so it's time to get it done. So yeah, so please like, subscribe, comment and share and do all that stuff, would be much appreciated. We're nearly at 500 subscribers, so I think we're about 8 off, so if you wouldn't mind pressing that to get me to 500, and then hopefully by the end of the year we'll get to 1,000. Anyway, that's enough of that waffle. Let's turn you around and have a look and see what this flail mower looks like. Right, so there she is. It's a Turner 30 hydrostatic walk behind pedestrian flail mower. It's got a 14 horse Kohler engine on it. I think I paid 200 quid for it about 4 years ago. Just trying to think what the story was with it now. I can't remember now. Why was it up for sale? Anyway, it doesn't really make any difference. It's here now. I bought it from a village, 2 or 3 villages away. It was Cherrington, I think I bought it from. It was all complete, but since then, looks like the carburetor's gone walkabout. So Dad must have had that off or something. The HT lead's gone walkabout as well, because it was all complete. But anyway, I couldn't, when we first got it, I tried getting it going, I couldn't get it going, so the engine was coming off anyway, so that's probably why I had them bits off it. So, yeah, as you saw in the previous video, we've got this Honda 630 to go on it. I'm hoping it's going to fit. Our biggest problem will be the drive shaft size, the pulley behind here. So, we'll get this guard off. Wow, that was hard. Oh, I don't know actually. That might be the same size, but I'll get the calipers out and have a look. Oh, actually that looks smaller. That looks smaller. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, so this is what it looks like. So that should drive. The belts don't look too bad actually. Your 2 belts to drive your flail. So you got, yeah, that's your in and out lever. And then you've got your 1 belt to the hydrostatic box. Again, don't know whether that works. It was sold to me running, working, but I could never get the engine going. So yeah, we'll get it cleaned off. We'll measure that shaft up. That's the first job. Get it cleaned off and see if we can get the engine off and swapped over. Right, well, there we go. There's 5 minutes wasted of my life. I just got the calipers out and I measured, videoing it, thinking I was videoing it, but never pressed the record button, did I? So yeah, so we've gathered that this shaft is 28mm, and this is 25mm. So that's our first problem. Luckily it's on a taper lock pulley, so I'm just going to see if we can find a taper lock insert that's 25mm. That pulley will go on. Yeah, so first job then is get all these leaves and detritus cleaned out. Belts off, pulley off, engine off, and then see how everything fits on it. Obviously this was a pull start, the other one was electric start, so we're going to have to mount a battery tray, which I'm hoping might go in there. The battery might fit in there, we'll see. But yeah, it should be a good little project. Everything looks, get down here. The flails don't look too bad, not that you can see much, but it looks pretty good. Obviously the skirt needs replacing on the front and paint and bits and bobs, but the main thing is get it going. The biggest concern is whether that hydro box is going to work or not. But the dump works, It freewheels and locks when you put it in drive, so hopefully it works. Yep, so let's get on with it. So we have got a bit further. I've cleaned all the leaves off. I have sprayed the pulleys up. Got that bout cover off. I don't know whether you want to watch me do all of this or whether you just want me to keep clipping in and out. I don't know. What else have I done? Throttle cable off. I put the dump valve back in, put it into gear up on the lever and pulled it over, and it drives forward and backwards, so hopefully that gearbox is okay. Put this into gear. Which way is it? That way. That way. And it turns the flail mower. The flails are moving, so that should be okay. They probably want a bit of tension in them. I don't know how to tension that. I think that's the tensioner there. I think we wound the nut off on the bottom, wound that back. I think that's how you tension it. I don't know anything about these machines, so it's all a bit of a make it up as we go along. All the shaft bearings and everything look okay at the moment. Nothing, no playing it. It's all got grease nipples on, so we'll give it a good grease up before it fires up. But yeah, just going to carry on stripping. Transmission about to come off, and then work out how this engine comes off. Yeah, I'll get that bout off and we'll pick back up. That was fun. 4 engine bolts now out, so we should take the tank off to get the last one, because the back ones are nuts and the front ones are captive. Well, we couldn't just have them all captive, I do not know, but hey ho. So we should be able to now move that engine, hopefully, and take that bout off, because do you think I could get that bout off? I didn't want to cut it. So yeah, let's get that engine off. Oh, where's my tripod? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Let's get you set up in this. Oh, she's a fair old lump. Jesus, she's a fair old lump. Right, so the only thing we need now off of this is the pulley, which we will get off in a bit. That tank can go for scrap because I bust the tap off the bottom of it when I'm getting it off. To be fair, this engine's going to go for scrap anyway. She's a fair old lump, so she might be a bit of something in there. Them grub screws are going to be fun to get out, aren't they? That's going to be our biggest issue. I think it's getting them grub screws undone. Just keep soaking up. Plenty of water juice around it. So yeah, well, engine strip down wasn't too bad, was it? So there she is. Whoop. Them engine mounting plates aren't going to be in the same place, and it's just going to be a bit of a faff, isn't it? But we'll get there. It'll be going. We might have to do a bit of fabrication even there, even if we have to make a plate that bolts into here with the engine Honda dimensions to go on. If we've got to do a bit of fabrication, we've got to do a bit of fabrication. But yeah, ow, that's my finger. Ow, finger stuck. Ow. There we go. Broken tap. So yeah, we'll get all this cleaned up, and then we'll do a spot of measuring, and then we'll get that pulley off. First little test fit then. It looks like it just just about fits on. Obviously the mounted to completely different places, so we're going to have to drill 4 new mounting holes for it. Right up against that mudguard, so I don't know whether we're going to have to fabricate the mudguard slightly different. Yeah, we haven't got much room between the gearbox and the electrical system. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't fit, but it's on. Fits in the hole. I'm going to do a bit of fettling to get it to go. So yeah, first test fit is, I think, successful. Yeah. That's right, I'm just thinking in my head. Yeah, when I go quite like this, I'm thinking. Yeah, so 4 holes in the chassis of the machine to mount the engine on. Sort of pulley out. Throttle cable should just bolt straight on, if it works up there, which it should do. Then we've got to think about battery. The biggest thing I didn't think about, which just came to me a minute ago when I lifted the engine on and knocked the fuel pipe off with my arm. Fuel tank. That's our biggest problem. We haven't got a fuel tank. So what are we going to do about that? Because I know these Hondas are thirsty. So we're going to want at least 20 litre tank? Where the hell are we going to mount that? To be fair, I think this engine's probably be a bit big for it. It really wanted a GX 390 with a all contained tank and everything, but hey ho. This is what we've got, so this is what we're going to make fit. Yeah, I think the battery I'm going to mount in that box there. Might just have to extend it up a bit, move the lid up. But the tank, I don't know yet. We might have to fabricate a bracket. What I might do, actually, I've seen jerry can tanks. What I might do is mount a jerry can on that in here, and they do the special like match clip things with the fuel pipe that goes to it. See how much one of them kits is, because we've got a couple of jerry cans kicking around. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just thinking out loud now. So yes, the main thing now is get a taper lock pulley to fit this shaft. Get these holes drilled in the chassis so we can get the engine mounted to it. But before we do that, when I was running it up, I didn't realise it blew. When we didn't have the exhaust on, it blew a bloody exhaust gasket off the studs, and I went and put the exhaust on, so I've got to take all that off, put that gasket back in. But the other thing I've got to do is, now we know it's up and running, is got to drop the oil and put some gasket sealant between the back plate and the engine, because it's got nothing in there at the moment. It's got oil in it and it's been run up and it's got hot, but it's not leaking. But I'd rather have a bit of gasket sealant or something between there just to make sure it doesn't leak. You don't want to blow an engine up. So yeah, there's plenty to be getting on with. I'm going to hump this back onto the bench, get that all stripped out, drained, stripped out again, sealed up, gasket back on. Yeah, we've got to get the pulley off that old engine. Plenty to be getting on with.